Hi guys, I wanted to wish you a happy new year. I'm excited to start the year off with a fresh start, and hopefully we can all collectively usher in some great positivity into 2021 and continue to cook delicious meals for ourselves or for our loved ones, for our immediate family. I'm gonna make another simple weeknight dish. You guys really loved my lemony shrimp with white bean stew. And just yesterday, my friend Marie said to me, I've made it twice. We need more cozy winter dishes like that. And if you know me, I do love a warm, hearty, cozy meal, but I also really like for things to have a bright acidity, a zippiness to it. I love herbs. I love something like lemon or capers to kind of have that tangy quality. So I am going to do a slow roasted whitefish. I'm gonna use cod, although you can use halibut, you could use Chilean sea bass, regular sea bass. It's also really great because it's a one pot meal. You just kind of throw everything in the oven. Well, what I'm going to do actually is I'm gonna take some fennel because I wanna get some sort of veggie in there. So I'm gonna throw some fennel with some olive oil and some orange into my stove pan. And I'm gonna roast that at a super high heat, like, well, not super, about 400 degrees, so it gets a beautiful sear. But then I'm gonna lower the temperature, and I'm gonna nestle in that same pot my fish and some citrus. You could use any citrus you have. I'm gonna use lime, Caracara orange, and blood orange because that's what I have on hand. I actually think lime is really underutilized. People always turn to lemon when they want to add citrus, but the lime is a really nice flavor, especially for the fish. It's a little more unexpected. So I'm gonna roast that slowly. I'm gonna lower the temperature to around 275 for around 30 minutes. I will slow roast that, let all of those flavors fuse together. And then while that's roasting, I'm gonna take some green olives and smash them. I am gonna take some fresh herbs. I might even segment some of that citrus to get actually chunks of the citrus in there. I will probably get like a quick pickle of shallots. So I'll kind of make that little bit of a relish. When that comes out of the oven, the fish comes out of the oven, I will just dollop that relish on top of the fish and just bring it right onto the table. And it's that one pot meal that's so simple, so delicious, bright, zippy, flavorful. If you guys want, you can also throw some cannellini beans or white beans in there. You can make some lentils and serve that with it. Kind of sky's the limit. This is a really simple recipe that you can apply so many different flavors to. So let's hop in the kitchen and get cooking. So I'm gonna cut this into 4 pieces, and then I'm gonna preheat my oven to 400 degrees right now. I'm gonna refrigerate this while I prep my fennel. I'm gonna trim the edge. I'm gonna cut it in half, half again, half again. So essentially I will have 8 pieces of fennel. I'm gonna put them right inside of here. I'm gonna drizzle, I would say, a hearty drizzle. I'm also going to zest 1 orange over the fennel and some lime zest as well. Left a little bit on the orange and on the lime, and I'll also zest the remaining bits over our fish before we add it to this. So as I mentioned, 400 degree oven, I'm gonna put this in and roast it until it is nice and caramelized. After 10 minutes, probably flip it so that the other side also gets caramelized. A little salt, a little pepper. Okay, I have 1 shallot that I am going to slice on my mandolin. Of course, you can just do this with a knife if you prefer, but this just gets them paper thin, which I think is really nice once you do a quick little pickle and put them over the fish. How very thin they get. I'm gonna do the same thing to, you could either use serrano or jalapeno. So I am going to take our shallots. I'm just gonna do a super quick pickle. I just have some apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna pour those over the shallots, and then I'm also going to put a little bit of salt to help soften them. And in the meantime, I will take my olives, smash them with my knife, and then you'll see it releases the pit. So these were in for about 15 minutes. I'm gonna flip them over now. First and foremost, some salt, pepper. I happen to have some Aleppo pepper on hand, so that little fleck of red is quite pretty and gives a little bit more of that spice. Whether you wanted to save your other lime a little bit for the fish or use another one, that's your call. And then I'll also do a little bit of orange zest. So you'll see like all of our flavors that are going into our fennel as well as our fish are repeated. So we are being mindful of not using too many ingredients and keeping all the flavors super cohesive. Final thing left to do is chop some herbs. I really love dill, especially in winter, because it just feels really kind of bright and vibrant. So I just got a handful here. Here's some fresh parsley. I'm gonna do a smaller handful of parsley because I would prefer for the dill to be the dominant flavor. You guys ask me all the time, my knife is Material Kitchen. How cool is this? It says EyeSwoon on it. And these are amazing little prep bowls that I love to use, and they are from Crate & Barrel. These have beautiful caramelization on them now. If you haven't roasted fennel before, it really changes and alters the flavor. It makes it super sweet. Vastly different from what it tastes like when it's raw. Okay, so I'm gonna let the temperature of our oven go down to 275. Let this kind of cool a bit, and then I'm gonna add all the other ingredients. So I'm gonna do something that I would say is not absolutely necessary right now, but I think it's really nice. I'm gonna segment the orange. So you wanna trim the top and the bottom of your orange so that it's flat. And then you wanna run your knife right along the pith. Try not to get too much of the flesh of the orange off. You're gonna run your knife over that curve. What you do next is you run your knife right in between the segments, and then the piece will fall right out. You could also do this with lemon or lime. It's really quite nice. All right, so I have our seasoned fish, and we have our fennel. So I'm literally just gonna take some of our lemons, limes, oranges, mix them together with the fennel haphazardly. And now I'm gonna put the remaining bits of olive oil on a nice hearty dose. So we're using about 1/3 cup total. We did 3 tablespoons earlier with the fennel, and the rest is going here. I'm gonna pop this in the oven for about 30 minutes, and the way you will know when your fish is ready is that it is opaque. I spoke a little too soon. I forgot to put our serrano chilies in. So I'm gonna add those right now. All right, guys, the fish is out of the oven. I'll give you a little detailed view. It looks super delicious. It cooked for 30 minutes. It's opaque. What I'm going to do now is kind of just throw a couple of olives over, tearing them. The fennel is on the bottom. Just a little bit of these pickled shallots atop each piece of fish. A little bit of fresh herbs. And then you remember earlier I got some of these segmented oranges. I think I would serve this with some fresh lime to squeeze over the fish, but that is the finished plate.